This is an absolute bargain when it comes to performance luxury cars. I'll include a link to the Genesis and Linden's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3.3 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed, fuel economy 17 around town, 23 on the highway with power outputs, being 375 horsepower and the 391 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, normally the white does hide the body lines a bit, but in the shade here, it actually pops out. Got the cool split light design that Genesis is known for now. Lots of mesh here on the front end, and the central section looks pretty premium. This has a kind of mix of boxiness and angular elements. Those looks definitely lead to a distinctive style. I always notice these on the road when they're driving around. Tire wheel setup up front is 225 by 40 by 19. We've got Brembo brakes there in red too. In the rear, it is 255 by 35 by 19 and also Brembos. This is definitely going for the blacked out look. The wheels are blacked out. The little vent piece at the bottom is also blacked out. This leads us to the key fob where we've got the remote start function, kind of a cool finish on it in general. But this also has the opening for the trunk, your lock and unlock function too. Now when it comes to storage space in the back, pretty typical of this segment, not massive, but it's practical enough. And the trunk pops all the way open when you pop it with the key or with the little button there in the back. Split light design here in the rear, and then the badges surprisingly are all chrome. And you know, I wonder what the back end of this car would look like with a giant spoiler. But spoiler or not, the overall style of this distinctive, and it's good looking for this segment. Let's now pop inside. Two-tone coloration on the door panel, perforated trim there above the armrest. More nice perforated trim all down the center section of the seat here. Definitely a tight fit here in the back, but I do have some vents here, USB ports, and I can even adjust the passenger front seat. Headroom's tight, but I do technically fit. Keyless entry up front. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and we've got the same two-tone coloration on the front door panel. Memory seats, and then the mirrors do have a power fold-in function. A nice finish on the controls. Really nice trim on the front seats, again perforated all down the center. Power adjustments on the side with lumbar support and bolster support too. The passenger doesn't get the thigh bolster, but it does have the power adjustments and lumbar support. Start her up. Nice perforated trim on either side of the steering wheel, soft touch at the top and the bottom with this one. Practical controls for your volume, voice command controls here on the front, paddle shifters there in the back, and on the left hand side you've got your adaptive cruise control. That's for the little center screen. And they do give the stalks in the back a nice finish on the tips. Now I think they have a nice mix of analog and digital here with the screen where you can scroll through and change what that displays, but you still have some analog, and then you have a slight change when you change the drive modes on the screen, but not a big one. This is equipped with a heads-up display, and we do have nice trim all across the dash. 360 camera system with this, good resolution through the whole system too, and it also has different viewpoints you can change through. As for the infotainment system, it is quick to respond. All the tabs are nicely labeled, so everything's user-friendly. We do have physical controls for the radio up top, nice buttons there. Climate, we do have dual zone climate, heated and ventilated seats, as well as a heated steering wheel. Phone charging pad with some USB ports and 12 volt. So when it comes to features, this is the more loaded up version of the G70. Nice finish here on the shifter. We've got a nice trim around the cup holders too. Your drive mode select, and then shortcut buttons for stuff like your stability, parking sensors, auto hold, all of that, parking brake behind it. Now with the center console here, USB port inside, more nice trim on the top. Then this does have a sunroof. So here's our one sticker for the Sport Prestige, $56,840. Let's see how this performs. Well, let us set off in the loaded, or yeah, more loaded G70. I don't know about you guys, but the pricing on these G70s is quite appealing. I know over $50,000 is not cheap by any means, but for a luxury performance car, it's not bad. I mean, this is less than what I see the price tag on most Mercedes C300s, and it's got a V6 instead of a 4-cylinder. So I think that's pretty appealing. I will say, I do think we're probably going to see a correction in the luxury car market when it comes to pricing and everything, because luxury cars in general are just too expensive, but luxury cars have gotten way too expensive. But yeah, Genesis, and also turn signal camera, but yeah, Genesis has kept things very reasonable with their pricing compared to their competitors. Most of the competitors are like 70 grand at this, in this segment, with what this has going on. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like this is more insulated than that. The back window was slightly open, because I really heard the noise of the cars, and I was like, there's no way. Yeah, that's right, because it's got pretty thick glass. You hear a little bit of tire noise. Bolsters do tighten around you when you have it in the Sport Plus mode. There's a bit of turbo lag. It's expected. Man, it pulls. That is quick. See what it's like in the Comfort. But yeah, that's quick. It's a lot quicker than the 4-cylinder. The V6, I think the overall, not just the acceleration being quicker, but just the overall power delivery just feels better than the 4-cylinder. Yeah, I like that power delivery more. But that 4-cylinder I just reviewed is 47, so like 9 grand less. It's a pretty big price difference. And the handling on this is sharp. Yeah, going around corners and everything, it's great. Very nicely balanced overall, I would say. So, G70 with the V6. I look at the warranty on this. It's got a 10-year, 100,000 mile on the powertrain. 5 years, 60,000 mile on the basic. You can't beat that in the luxury segment. Most luxury brands are a 4-year, 50,000. So, 1 more year, 10,000 more miles. And it's rare that people keep their luxury cars outside of the basic warranty. That's what you usually see, is they'll sell them before the warranty runs up. So, you'll have... Here's where I see the big benefit of that. If you're driving within that mileage range per year, then what you will do is get yourself 1 more year, 10,000 more miles, and that's money saved, like a lot of money saved, because luxury cars depreciate more so than regular cars. So if you can drive this for 1 more year and 10,000 more miles, then, you know, because at that point, that's your 5th year of driving. That is going to be less depreciation than what you experienced in the first year. So you compare that to, like, okay, another car that I have a 4-year warranty on. Well, now you're going to experience, do you understand what I'm saying? You're going to experience greater depreciation overall in that car because you're having to trade every 4 years versus every 5. So value here, really strong. I think it's worth checking one out.